G'day guys and welcome back to this week's fishing report. There's been a lot of fish being caught around Sydney, so let's get straight into it. The kingfish is what everyone's going to be starting to target soon, and boy haven't they come on the bite over the last week. In the port hacking, there's been some really nice kings being caught, nothing too big, around that 60 to 70 centimetre mark, so just legal mark. In the harbour there's been some really nice fish as well, fish in excess of 70 centimetres, and they're producing a lot more consistency in the harbour compared to the Botany Bay and port hacking region. But over the next week or so, we should expect some really nice kings to be coming into our Botany Bay and port hacking regions. Fishing the start of the run-in tide has been proving successful to being able to target these fish, particularly on live squid, small little live squid. If you can get a handful of them, you're going to be well on your way to being able to catch a nice kingfish. Because it is early on in the season, you'll see a lot of rats around, but also around those rat kingfish, there'll be some really big models, fish in excess of a metre, particularly early in the season right now. So if you're finding bigger live baits, a bigger yellowtail and bigger squid, drop them down in the deeper areas where the kingfish have been hanging, and you might even be able to tangle yourself with a really good sized kingfish as well. The other report I've been getting over the last couple of weeks have been the Flathead. The Flathead have been absolutely very consistent, particularly in the Botany Bay and Georges River over the last month, and we expect that to continue over the next couple of weeks. Fishing inside 5 metres with soft plastics around 1/4 ounce to 1/6 of an ounce jig head on a run-out tide has been proving some good success on some flathead fish in excess of 70 centimetres. So one, you could get a really nice feed of fish, so some flathead in that 45-50 centimetre mark, but you could also catch some really nice trophy-sized fish around the same area. Okay, moving on into this weekend and looking at the weather that's been forecast. So on Saturday, speaking specifically about Saturday, we're looking particularly in the morning because the forecast predicted is that the wind is going to be picking up around midday and going to almost near gale force winds from the southeast. So when I'm looking at that, I'm sort of wiping the afternoon out, not even going to be looking at tide changes, moon rises, moon sets, anything like that for Saturday afternoon. I'm going to purely be focusing on Saturday morning, and what I'm going to be focusing on is the tide movement. We've got a high tide at 5 a.m. with a low tide at 10 a.m. So if we're looking at Saturday, and we're looking at the Saturday morning to be able to go out for a fish, that's the time I'm going to be targeting. I'm going to be targeting that run-out tide. Particularly, obviously, I'll be starting fishing at around 6:30, which is about an hour and a half into that run-out tide. I'm going to find a nice flat to be able to fish the edge of that flat all the way to the back end of that run-out tide, all the way to 10 o'clock. So for me, in the port hacking, we've got flats all the way along Lily Pilly and Main Bar. So if you're going to go target your flathead, I'd be going to Lily Pilly, Main Bar, and the heads of Southwest Arm. Along those flats, along the edge of those flats, particularly on that run-out tide, there's going to be a lot of fish that is going to be schooled up around those edges. So using soft plastics, targeting your flathead on Saturday morning is going to be really good to be able to target them. Moving on into Botany Bay, places like Towra, around the runways, all the flats along Brighton Sands and out the front of Captain Cook Bridge are going to be producing some really nice flathead, particularly on this run-out tide. You need to find a nice shallow flat with a nice drop-off. It doesn't have to be a 10-15 metre drop-off. It could just be a 1 metre drop-off, and the flathead will just sit on the edge of that drop-off waiting for the bait to come past. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using little flick bait style soft plastics. Might use some prawn style soft plastics as well, or some curly tail soft plastics. Seeing what's going to be biting and testing all those lures out and finding the right one very quickly is going to be key to being able to have a really successful session over the weekend. Looking at Sunday's weather report, and not to be the bearer of bad news, but there's quite a strong southerly on Sunday with some predicted rain as well. So if I'm going to go out, which I do not recommend you to go out on Sunday because it's just going to be too hard to fish. You got a 45-50 kilometre an hour southerly with some rain on top. It's just going to be in the too hard basket for me. But if you are going to go out, I'd head to your southerly corners of Botany Bay, Sydney Harbour, and obviously the port hacking. I would be fishing the morning, fishing the run-out tide. If you can match a run-out tide in a southerly corner where you're protected from the wind and you're okay with a bit of rain and all that sort of stuff, which I am normally, but the wind is just way too much for me. It's just going to be too annoying to be able to fish. But for the people that want to do that, southerly corners, run-out tide, soft plastics along edge, similar to what I was saying on Saturday. So for Sunday, if I'm going to recommend you to do anything, And with the months ahead, we're leading into summer and all that sort of stuff, and more people will be going out fishing, and more people might be watching this report and thinking about going out fishing, is to make sure that all your safety gear is sorted. I have just finished my yearly life jacket check. Please go on to Maritime New South Wales website and have a look at the steps that they give you in regards to making sure your life jacket is serviced once every year. Those are the inflatable life jackets. Obviously, I wear either this style, which goes over your head, this sort of style life jacket, or the other one I prefer is the bum bag style life jacket. So there's my bum bag style life jacket. What you do is you go in and you do a yearly service, you follow a number of steps that the Maritime have on their website to make sure that your life jacket has been serviced at least once every year. It is your requirement to do that. I know over the next couple of weeks and months, they will be out there checking your life jackets, making sure that they've been serviced and they're within that year date. So please make sure you go do that. Other things that I'll be doing on Sunday is servicing my motor. So if you're interested in me doing a video on how to service a motor, just doing basic services, so changing oils, spark plugs, impeller, all that sort of stuff, please write down in the comments and let me know if you want to see that style of video. Another video I'm going to be doing as well is changing your bearings on your trailer wheels as well. Really, really easy, really good stuff to be able to do around this time of year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to recommend you to go out fishing on a day when it's not going to be nice to be able to go out on any style of boat. So when it comes to those days, what I'm doing is getting prepared for when it's good, retying lures, servicing reels, washing boats down, servicing engines, whatever it could be. That's what I would be doing on those days. And hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all learned something. Like I said, leave a comment down below if you want to see how to change a wheel bearing, a basic service on an engine, or anything in regards to maintenance on your boat. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below, and hopefully Saturday morning you go out there, have a nice fish like I will, hopefully catch some flathead, maybe and a few kingfish might be around, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.